Are you freaking kidding me? 50 LinkedIn leads in 2 days. That's the guarantee that Casey O'Toole is going to give you. And he's going to show you exactly how right now with, of course, Coach Lindsay Nc Corchuk, who I can't even believe I can pronounce her name right now because I don't even think you kids can pronounce it right yet. I don't know. Maybe it's just me. But I'm just kidding, Lindsay. You know I love you.
I think that's actually the first time you said it right.
I know, right? I've been struggling with it. I've been practicing and practicing and practicing. So here's the deal, you guys, seriously, and I was born with one of those names too, right? Where I couldn't pronounce my own name, my own last name until I was, I think about 8. But that said, we're talking about LinkedIn, and Casey O'Toole is with MyLink Solutions. He's one of our approved vendors at Club Wealth. He does a lot of stuff with Coach Lindsay. And I'm telling you, these guys are crushing it on bringing in leads from LinkedIn. It's a place where most agents, the vast majority of agents out there, are probably not capturing leads at all. And even if they are, definitely not at scale. And I will tell you that Lindsay and Casey have figured out how to do this at scale. So right now we're gonna take your questions. This is gonna be a fast one today. We're gonna spend about 20 minutes talking about this. So be ready, ask your questions early because we're gonna wrap this up very quickly, and we're gonna throw some quick bullet points out. So before we do, I wanna remind you guys about our sponsor, WiseHire. They sponsor our Club Wealth TV episodes. If you aren't using them already for your recruiting, you really should be, because pretty much all the rest of us do, and it works great. It's a very inexpensive way to ensure that you've got a consistent flow of candidates, both for your administrative team as well as for your sales team coming in. Go to clubwealth.com/WiseHire. That's WIZEHIRE, and you can get our discount. So that being said, without any further ado, Coach Lindsay, tell us what you are accomplishing on LinkedIn right now. What are your tangible results on LinkedIn? What does it cost you to get there? And then Casey, you tell us how to get there.
Sure. So last year, this year and last year are a little different just because of what's been going on, but there's been a huge bonus to what has been going on this year. And I'll go into that really quick in a second. But last year we closed 7 transactions. That was with no follow-up at all. Now that looks much different for me, because I do have follow-up. So we're going to see even better results, hopefully this year and into next year. But 7 transactions, about $70,000 in commission. I get 2 opportunities with this that no other lead source gives you. One, I get to grow my SOI and my professional network. You don't get to do that on any other platform that I'm aware of. With growing that, I get sales behind it. So I don't use this platform as a way just to get buyer and seller leads. That comes with it. So you have to look at it that way. This year, we've closed one $800,000 home. But with kind of what's going on right now, I have been able to grow my network so much and meet with via Zoom, actually a lot more people. So I've had to kind of pivot what I'm doing or what I did last year. But right now, we have about 7 hand raisers of buyers that want to buy in the next 3 months to a year. And these people that I'm actively nurturing and reaching out to. And so by doing this and staying consistent with it, we will probably double what we did last year.
Wow. So last year, just to be clear, 7 transactions and $70,000 in gross commission income just from LinkedIn. And by the way, and you've grown your followers now on LinkedIn or your connections, I should say, on LinkedIn. How many connections do you have now on LinkedIn?
It's close to 11,000.
Close to 11,000 connections. That's incredible. So you're getting some really good traction on LinkedIn. You're getting a lot of engagement on LinkedIn, and it's really being fueled by MyLink Solutions. Is that right? 100%. 100%. Okay. So now, Casey, Mr. MyLink Solutions, why don't you tell us how we do it? How can we, and by the way, tell us not only how are you doing it for Lindsay, but also how can agents right now, whether they buy your service or not, how can they right now implement something that will move this forward for them?
Well, other than being Lindsay Nc Corchuk, I don't know. No, it's funny. I mean, so what Lindsay does very well, which not that many agents do or don't want to do, is her openness and her ability to meet people. Whether it's via Zoom, whether it's before COVID, it's at the coffee shop. She's always willing to meet people. And I'm a realtor also, and we all know this is a relationship game. So she would put herself out there daily and meet people and close deals, right? That's what she does well. What she said earlier was she wasn't even doing like extensive follow-up and nurturing long-term. And that's kind of what I can bring to the table as well at this point is again, being a realtor, I understand that not everyone is ready to buy right now, but having 11,000 connections on LinkedIn and 11,000 people that you have access to their contact information, what you can do is you put them in nurture campaigns and follow up with them however often you want. I mean, just for an example, I just started using Ylopo and Follow Up Boss. Right? So what I did is I downloaded all my connections from LinkedIn, put them into an action plan, and I got probably 2 or 3 dozen leads, hand raisers, from one email blast. Now imagine if you then nurture them over the course of 6 months to a year, that's gonna double or triple. So there's a lot of power in contact database. And if you know how to nurture them and you have the right systems, and we can show you how to do that, it's just gonna 10x your ROI on the system, like hands down.
Okay, so that's huge. And so this isn't just about, and I think that's something that people need to be keyed in on, is this isn't just about LinkedIn in a vacuum, right? It's about LinkedIn in conjunction with other tools and technologies that you're using to really grow your overall business. And specifically, you're using your CRM in conjunction with LinkedIn to not only connect with them via email, but to then again connect with them on one of the social platforms that a lot of these people are currently on, which is LinkedIn. Is that right?
It's everything. I mean, it's you can get instant business from your direct messaging. You can get long-term business from these different nurture campaigns. And I think what's almost even the most powerful is just the increasing in your branding. Like whenever I post things on LinkedIn, I just closed. We closed 3 deals a couple weeks ago, and I posted that on LinkedIn, and it got like 2,000 views. So in terms of like what people think of what type of realtor I am, I'm an active top producing realtor in Santa Barbara. Look at, and I have 2,000 or 3,000 people viewing these posts on a daily basis.
Well, here's the thing to keep in mind. Yeah, but I mean, think about this. What does it take to get 2,000 or 3,000 views on Facebook? It's a lot harder. I mean, I'll tell you, it's the audience is inundated on Facebook compared to LinkedIn. I think you've got a much more what's the word I'm looking for? Just a much riper audience, a much easier to access audience with far less competition on LinkedIn than you do on Facebook. Would you agree with that?
Definitely. I mean, Gary Vaynerchuk, he says the same thing. Like right now, there's arbitrage on LinkedIn. Like there is.
What does that mean? Tell us what that means.
It means there's an opportunity on LinkedIn that won't be here for very long.
Yeah.
So I mean, like 7 years ago, there's arbitrage on Facebook, where if you got in early enough, you'd be able to be a first mover and generate a bunch of leads that not many people had access to. Right now, people are posting content, and there's a lot more media, and people are actively engaging, and the algorithms on LinkedIn are very favorable for organic posting and organic content. Therefore, if you get in now on LinkedIn, you're going to have an advantage over everybody else.
Yeah. That's huge. And that's, early adopters definitely get the advantage. And so I'm glad to hear you talking about that. And also it's interesting you mentioned that, one of the things that we can do very, very simply is simply post the content that we're already posting elsewhere on LinkedIn. So give us a couple of other actual tips, things that we can implement right now, or that the agents watching this can implement right now to do more on LinkedIn.
Do you want me to take that, Casey?
Go for it, Lindsay.
Okay. So this is one thing that I wish that I would have done, because now it's from the very start, because I have so many connections now that it's hard to go through all of my 11,000 connections. So I tell people now, 1, update your LinkedIn. Like, make it relevant, write a good bio, make sure that you have a good bio, because I can't tell you how many comments I've received just because of my bio. Number 2, go in and add your SOI, your friends, your family. You will find that a lot of people aren't on LinkedIn, but add whoever you can, and whatever you decide your value proposition is going to be, write it and send it out to them first. Because what's happened with me now, MyLink Solutions, it has connected me to 3 of my neighbors. And we only have 70 homes in my neighborhood, and they've connected me to 3 of them. So they do get this value proposition. Like I might not know them personally. So I always will go and say, oh, sorry, you're actually my neighbor. Like trying to save it.
Right.
But so I wish that I would have done that from the very beginning, because it's much easier to reach out to your sphere on LinkedIn than it is Facebook.
Yeah.
Okay, so let me back up to this really quick. So the first suggestion that you gave is to update your bio, and that's really simple to do, and it does make a difference when people find you on LinkedIn and they see an incomplete bio. It's an instant turnoff, right? And so you need to have a full and complete bio. It's not hard to do. And what's really cool is you can link to a lot of other stuff, which also helps you overall with not just LinkedIn, but with your other platforms, whether it's Google, YouTube, Facebook, whatever. It's also going to help you on those platforms because those backlinks to LinkedIn are ranked fairly high. And so that's good stuff. I'm also seeing Dave Woodson commented in the comments here. He says that video is huge on LinkedIn, and I would absolutely agree with that. And I think, again, video, we talked about a moment ago, gets a lot more traction on LinkedIn than it ever will, or I shouldn't say ever will, than it does currently on Facebook. And Mark Chappell, I see he tagged a couple of people he knows. I would love for you guys to do this. If you've got an administrator on your team, you need to tag them in this, make sure they're watching this. And I would like to know from everybody watching, how many of you are currently on LinkedIn? Do you have a LinkedIn profile or not? If you have a LinkedIn profile, say, yes, I have a LinkedIn profile. If you don't, say, nope, no LinkedIn profile yet. I'm curious how many real estate agents that watch our stuff are even on LinkedIn. Okay, so tip number 1 is update your bio, and tip number 2 is connect with the people in your neighborhood and make sure they know that you're from the neighborhood. Is that right?
Yes, update your bio, but also make sure that your LinkedIn is relevant. That it's real estate related.
Okay, so it's not just enough to have it on there. Okay, and I'm seeing a few people are typing in now. I got Barack and Lori are both saying that they are on LinkedIn. That's great. I wonder if very many others are. So please keep typing that in, you guys. And so relevant to real estate. So tell me what you mean by that. So when you post on LinkedIn, let's back up. When we talk about Facebook, we normally recommend to people the 80-20 rule, right? So we'll say normally, on Facebook, you want to spend, 80% of your posts should be personal in nature and only 20% should be business related because it's a social network. How does that play on LinkedIn? Is it different?
LinkedIn's not personal. You don't post personal stuff. So it's all business related, and it's an okay platform to reach out to your sphere. I mean, your friends and your family for business related purposes, where you don't feel like you're trying to sell them something on Facebook. And by updating your profile, what I mean is, prior to me getting into real estate, I worked in the cosmetic dermatology, plastic surgery world. And so before I got started with Casey, I had to really switch that up and make sure that all of my stuff was relevant. My work history was up to date, any trainings, just all of that. Make sure that it's all up to date and relevant to real estate. It's not a past career that you use to apply for jobs.
So do you eliminate those? Do you go through and delete the old jobs, or you leave them in there?
I leave them all in there.
Okay. All right.
Yep. And my bio is really about me and like me personally, because people work with people they like, right? So it's my bio is more of a personal bio. It's not so much real estate related. I mean, it is, there's stuff in there about real estate, but it's about my family. It's about what I do. It's about me being a business owner and owning an espresso stand when I was 19. It's about stuff like that.
And to add to that too, I mean, having a good profile is definitely one of the most important things to do, because it's putting your best foot forward. But also LinkedIn is a platform for networking and providing feedback and connecting and all these different, professional activities. I mean, imagine how many comments you get on Club Wealth Mastermind Group when you say, which of my profile photos should I be putting on my newsletters? Which house would you want to live in? Or asking for feedback gets a lot of engagement. I have an incredible campaign going right now where we just changed our website. We have a new branded website. So I'm simply asking for feedback from all my connections. Hey, first name, I just changed websites to a new innovative platform. I would love for you to check it out and provide any feedback. Then I have also additionally, we paid extra for this really comprehensive home valuation tool. Tell me what you think. They then click on that link, they then fill out that information, and all of a sudden that's a lead. So Like, it's like they didn't realize what they're intending on, just like providing feedback about a website, but all of a sudden it's like, oh, now I know where they live, and now I have their name and email address, and we can give them a call.
Yeah. That's the thing. And you know what? Engagement is key, right? And because the more people engage with you, the more these algorithms feel like you are relevant. And the more relevant they think you are, the more that they think eyeballs are going to want to be on your stuff, the more likely they are to dish it up to more people, because their whole thing is we want to keep more eyeballs on our platform, which in this case is LinkedIn. So huge. Absolutely love it. Okay. So we have a workshop coming up with Casey and Coach Lindsay in September. It's going to be the September 24th and 25th. We're guaranteeing you that you're going to get 50 LinkedIn leads during the workshop. This is a done with you workshop. It's live in person in Seattle. So for those of you that have been dreaming about coming to Seattle for a long time, we are going to take you to see the really cool stuff in Seattle while you're here. We'll take you to some nice dinners, and we're going to make sure that you get a ton done and that you actually come out with leads. You'll have your profile all set up. You'll have your bio all set up. You'll have your leads coming in. You'll have essentially a LinkedIn funnel dialed in during the workshop. And so you need to be there. You guys, if you haven't signed up for it already, go to clubwealth.com/LinkedIn workshop, clubwealth.com/LinkedIn workshop to get signed up for that. So Lindsay and Coach Lindsay and Casey, give us one last tip each on what we can do to take our LinkedIn game to the next level right now.
My next thing would be to sign up for the Sales Navigator with LinkedIn. I think, that's huge, because LinkedIn does limit who you can connect to and how many people that you can connect to if you don't have it. So, and if you did go with MyLink Solutions, you're going to have to do that anyway. So, you can pay for it for a year and it ends up being $65 a month, or you can pay it monthly and it's $80. But I highly recommend doing that, because LinkedIn has kind of its own CRM now, which has helped me tremendously with organizing my leads and my hand raisers, my referral opportunities, all of that, even agents, right? If I want to recruit more to my team, which I always should be, but I have a file for agents too, so I would definitely sign up for the Sales Navigator side of LinkedIn.
I love it. That's great. And for you figured out, I mean, by the time you do the math on it, you look at the ROI that you've had on LinkedIn, again, with no follow-up. And let's be really clear with this, there's essentially no hands-on follow-up from you with this whole LinkedIn process. Right. And you made $70,000 last year. I mean, so if people could just add an extra $70,000 to their business, it'd be worth the $65 a month to do that. And then whatever you got to pay Casey, and you guys get a discount when you sign up for MyLink Solutions, you get a discount through Club Wealth. And during the workshop, we'll get you a free trial during the workshop so you can test it out, see how it works, and see the results for yourself. But I'm telling you, it's crazy simple, and it's one of those things where you can literally just write a check and get business. I mean, who doesn't want to do that? So Casey, go ahead. One last tip.
Yeah, I mean, just I would say play around with Sales Navigator. Just kind of see what sort of target audience would be ideal for you, and then I would say schedule a call with us, a demo. What we enjoy doing is like digging into each individual person's business model and determining what the right solution is for you. If you're a veteran, then maybe a local hero's military campaign. If you used to be in healthcare, maybe we can do like a healthcare script. But we personalize every script and every campaign for all of our clients, so that they have the best results possible. Then on top of what Lindsay was saying earlier about how LinkedIn has the ability to like a built-in CRM, they do. But we also have a Zapier integration, so we can zap all of your new connections into a CRM. You can tag them yourself, put them into action plans. So we can help you with all that. So I think it's great.
So I love where you're headed with that. You guys, one of the things we talk about a lot at Club Wealth is the importance of automating everything you possibly can, delegating the rest, and if at all possible, just eliminating all the things that are unnecessary. So really what Casey and Lindsay are saying here is you can automate the vast majority of this process and get it down to a point where you're literally, again, writing a check to get a much bigger check in return. And from what I'm hearing, it's almost a 10x check. So yeah, definitely you guys take a look at it. If you haven't done so already, go to clubwealth.com/LinkedIn workshop and get signed up for the workshop. Or you can also take a look, if you just want to connect with MyLink Solutions, get the Club Wealth discount on that. go to clubwealth.com/LinkedIn Profits. Clubwealth.com/LinkedIn Profits, where Lindsay has also prepared, I should say Coach Lindsay, sorry about that, has prepared a nice download for you that gives you a lot more information, a lot more guidelines on things that you can do, a little checklist that you can follow to really get dialed in on LinkedIn. So guys, I really appreciate your time. Dave Woodson, yes, we'll bring you to the Club Wealth Autonomous Zone in Seattle. So I love it. But definitely, Dave, we got to get you out to Seattle to one of these workshops here soon. I love you, brother. It's always good to see you on. And so Casey and Lindsay, you guys have anything else to add before we wrap it up today?
There is one thing that I want to add, because this just happened. One thing that I talk about a lot is the quality of people that you connect with on LinkedIn. It's a much higher value. And I just got connected to a financial advisor for NFL players.
That sounds like a pretty good connection to me.
Yeah. And we had a Zoom call, nice guy, we talked about, the new Seahawks players coming up. And so I think that over time, that's going to be a very valuable connection.
So Coach Lindsay, we need to do a call, you and I, and I'll walk you through some ideas on things you can do to kind of dial into that, maybe get you connected with a few of our folks. And by the way, if you are currently working with celebrities or pro athletes, maybe comment in the feed here, and maybe you and Lindsay can do some masterminding on that. But Coach Lindsay, I'll definitely get you connected with some others who are. So good stuff. All right. Appreciate you guys. And we will see you. I can't wait to see you in September. And also, I believe you're both aren't you both speaking at the Marketing Technology Conference coming up here at, I think it's just in a couple of weeks here, about 3 weeks, the Club Wealth M&T Conference. And that's online only, by the way. That's not an in-person event, you guys, everybody that's watching. For that one, you just go to clubwealth.com. All right, I'm sorry, no, you go to marketingandtechnologysummit.com. Marketingandtechnologysummit.com will get you to that. And I'm telling you, we've got some crazy, awesome speakers coming to that. Big names that you would recognize. I don't want to just name drop now because, it seemed kind of cliche for me to start throwing out names like Josh Smith and, some of those guys that Tristan Ahumada and you name it. But definitely come on out, join us for that. And we'll see you soon. Thanks, you guys. Have a great day.